You already know what it is, man. It's Cadillac Chronicles. Today, we have the legendary Fab Movan in the whip right now.
Yes.
How you feeling?
I feeling good, man. The sun just came up, man. It's a sign.
Word up.
We're here to just vibe and send some positive vibrations to the people. You're here to tune in the frequency. I am the frequency modulator, FM, here to elevate and just motivate you.
Word. And that's what we about, too. You know what I'm saying? And I'm very thankful and appreciative for you coming through. Know what I mean?
Man, my pleasure, man. You know, I like to talk to the people.
Mm-hmm.
I like to drop some gems and plant some seeds because it's necessary. Giving back is necessary. Music is love.
Absolutely.
So,
and we're all
do
here
that.
to learn from each other. You dig what I'm saying?
Yes.
Well, yeah, let's get into some music, you know what I'm saying? Some real classics, and then we're going to chop it up.
Yeah, man.
Let's get it.
I'm ready. Everybody in the car, come on. Put your hands up like this, y'all. Come on. Yeah. This is for older people who failed once, who stood back up. People doubting them. This is for you. Come on. Yeah. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm in love with you, girl, cause you're on my mind. You're the one I think about most every time. When you crack a smile in everything you do. Don't you understand, girl, this love is true. Your soft, seeking hand, long, sweet and thin. That's kinda like a passion upon your skin. It lights up my day, and that's also true. Together we're one, separated we're two. To make it all mine is my desire. Cause it contains the quality that I admire. To put it plain and simple, you're in my world, so try to understand. I'm in love, girl. I'm so in love, girl. I'm just in love, girl. And this is true. Girl, you know it's true. And you say, ooh, 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 I love you. Come on, girl. Yes, you know it's true. Ooh, 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 I love you. On side to side, everybody, come on. Girl, you know it's true. My love is for you. It's just so in vain, girl, I can't explain. My emotions start up when I hear your name. Maybe your sweet, sweet voice will ring in my ear. It stimulates my senses again with you on you. And with your positive, emotional, making it joy. There's a need to blush. It's like a girl and a boy. Facing feelings like that, I often wonder why. So I thought I might just go to search just you and I. Now what you wear, I don't care how you dress. For the reason I like your girl, it's what you are. If I sit and think about it, you rule my world. So try to understand. I'm in love, girl. I'm so in love, girl. I'm just in love, girl. And this is true. I'm in love, girl. I'm so in love, girl. I'm just in love, girl. And this is true. Girl, you know it's true. And you say, that's right. Yeah, man. It's fun, man. I love the song. It's a classic. There's no doubt about it. You know, I see you at a venue near you. You know, so don't hesitate. When my name comes up, just come to the show.
Nah, that's really fire. Like, you was really kicking that right there for
That was
sure.
fun. Man, it's always fun for me, man. Those songs, for a long time, I didn't want to perform those because I was like, I don't know. But then, you know, I am Milli Vanilli. I will always be Milli Vanilli, and it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And those songs brought to millions smiles.
Absolutely.
With this music, some babies were born.
Word up.
Word. You know what I mean? So I'm never going to stop this. I love music. Music is life. Life is music. And it gave me life, and it saved my life, too. It did save my life. So
absolutely.
I'm pleased to be here. And also, there's a reason, you know, why everything happens in life. And out of darkness comes out the light.
For sure.
You know, and the one thing I've learned to do in life is saying yes to life. Say yes. When you start saying no to life, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Doubt will come around. That's just the way it is. But if you can keep on saying yes to life, it's going to be all right. You're going to fall, but you can't stand back up and reinvent yourself. And that's what I did.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes. All right. Here we go. You said you didn't need her. You told her goodbye. You sacrificed the good love to satisfy your pride. Now you wish that you still had her, and you feel like such a fool. You let her walk away. Now it just don't feel the same. Gotta blame it on something. Gotta blame it on something. Blame it on the rain that was falling, falling. Blame it on the stars that didn't shine that night. Whatever you do, don't put the blame on you. Blame it on the rain, yeah, yeah. You can blame it on the rain. Should have told her you were sorry. Could have said you were wrong. But no, you couldn't do that. No, no, you had to prove you were strong. Whoa, if you hadn't been so blind then, she might still be there with you. You want her back again, but she just don't feel the same. Gotta blame it on something. Gotta blame it on something. Blame it on the rain that was falling, falling. Blame it on the stars that didn't shine that night. Whatever you do, don't put the blame on you. Blame it on the rain, yeah, yeah. You can blame it on the rain. 'Cause the rain won't mind. That's right, man. You know, that's it, man. You know, those songs, again, you know, when I perform the songs live for the people, it's like I become the vortex. And they just step into it. And those songs, when they came out, brought smiles. They made people happy. Babies were born on that music. And for me to be able to perform those songs today, it makes my heart glad, truly.
Absolutely. What's something that you're thankful for right now in your life?
Man, I'm thankful for my family. You know, my partner, Tessa, Sasha, Solange, Vince, Paris, 4 kids with the same woman. I'm proud of that.
Word.
You know what I mean? Because it's all about family. My life is all about family. You know, I you know, you think that you raise them, but they raise you. You know, they give you a new insight on life. So I raise them, but they also help me elevate myself as a human being. And when you elevate yourself as a human being, you recognize certain rules that we have to live by. Like what we're doing right now is giving back to the people. Inspiration, inspiring. That's what it's about. And as an artist, I think that, you know, that's our job. You know, music is love, love is music, but we're here to inspire. And I grew up on Bob Marley, you know, so one love, that's my thing. And I didn't speak English at the time, so I had to take a dictionary, read the words, and be like, oh. But I realized that the energy that came out from the music and the words came tied together, and I was like, wow. Without knowing, I felt what it was saying. And this is very important now. Whatever you put in the music will touch people. That's why you can tell, you know, certain music makes people aggressive, angry. You know, I'm in the positive.
Facts.
I'm here for that. Facts.
Absolutely. How did you start off in music?
Well, first of all, I come from a family of musicians. My grandfather started me. He was an accordionist player, and watching him on stage, I was like, man, that's a trip. My parents are turning into kids. They're dancing. I'm like, man, that's weird. But I was loving it because, like, how does he do that? How they do that? Well, it's music. Music put down the parental wall, and suddenly everybody was having fun, smiling, and I said, I want to do this. My mom said, hell no, look at your uncle. He didn't do well. I was like, no, man, I want to do this. And I kept it in my heart. I kept dreaming about it. And then when the opportunity came for me to just go into the music, I first started with small producers here and there. But when the big man, Frank Farian, called, my partner Rob was like, oh man, he's a producer of Boney M. I didn't know who he was. I knew the music from Boney M. I was more into disco and a lot of disco music as a kid, but I danced to Boney M as well in those small kids parties. And we came into the studio and saw those gold records on the wall. You had 4 studios filled with people working. It looked like studios of Quincy Jones, like all the gear, Arbor gear, in the walls, consoles, 80-channel consoles, live room in the front to put musicians. I mean, it was a real thing. So when someone like that comes to you, you think, man, all right, how high do I have to jump? Because, I'm ready.
Wow. So how did you link with Rob first?
Oh man, I came to Munich, and it was competitive. I was on his turf. He used to break dance, and I went to see him by accident. I landed at some party where he was, and then we used to run into each other, one-on-one, and it was like, hey, what's up, man? What's up, man? It's just like, but I was like, oh, I saw him with a lot of people always, and then the more I stayed, the longer I stayed in the city, I realized he was a loner, like me. So we always met each other, and at some point we met, and we were like, okay, we got to talk now, and we talked, and it was a moment in time where we realized that we love music, and music was what we wanted to do. So when I realized that, and we were black, so when there were not a lot of black people in Munich at the time, so that was the first link up. Like, man, your brother, we brothers. Like, let's do something. Once we realized that music was the glue, the connection, and then he brought me. He protected me as well. He was older than me, and I would do shows in the city of Munich, and people would play with me when it came to the money. So he came in and would negotiate for me, and he would speak German. So then it was like, okay, now I got you, man. And my money would get to me, would get in my pocket, and the money that I would ask for, I would get as well, because I studied German in school, so I understood what they were saying. So I could tell they were talking behind my back, but I had nobody there to help me, counterattack that. And that's when Rob came into the play.
Wow. So how did the Milli Vanilli opportunity come to you guys?
Well, we were getting into the music industry in Munich, and we started to be famous in the city. And we used to play soccer with some of those studio musicians that Frank Farian used to work with. And Rob was friends with them and played soccer with them. So in summer, we played together. And then we started telling them, hey, man, we want to get in the industry. So the word was coming out. We tell everybody. And then someone from Frank Farian's crew was like, oh, well, we talked about you. Just go up there. So we took a rental car and went up to Frankfurt and came into the studio. 4 studios, plenty of people in there, gold records on the wall. You were at the right place because you looked super professional. We'd never been in a place like that, ever. So, we were like, okay, what we're going to do? And they said, ask us a bunch of questions about music, what we like to do, what kind of music we like. And they said, okay, cool, good talking to you. We'll talk to you soon. And then we went back to Munich, and we're waiting for them to come back to us. And at some point, they called us back, came back to the studio. That's when we signed a recording contract. We got the last pages, though, of the contract, and there was no management. There was no attorneys present. The money was on the table. It was like, okay, all right, contract. Nobody said, you want to bring it to your attorney? I spoke French. I'm not a German native, but the contract was in German. So I asked my dude, we're good. He was like, yeah. 2 young, naive boys who want to live their dream. Frank Farian is right there. He's got the studios. He's got the gold records, man. We're in the right place. We're not going to bite the hand that could possibly feed us. So whatever they ask from us, we're going to do it. And the money that's on the table, there might be more from where it came from. That's going to allow us to eat, pay the rent, get some clothes, get the hair done, all that good stuff, you know. So we did sign, and then we waited and waited and waited. And then during that time, the money ran out. So it was like, hey, you know, we need money, you know. We're not working anymore. We thought we were going to get the project started earlier. So, you know, thank you, man. Peace, love. And so they said, oh, we'll send you some. And then we did that a few times. And then finally, they were ready to bring us to the studio. So we're like, oh, man, we're going to do it, man. It's time for us to get down. So, and Rob used to play guitar, and we used to write songs. Some basic blues chords, but we wrote together. We wrote songs. We harmonized together. We did what artists had to do. So we're ready now. Come to the studio, and he plays the track instrumental. But you know, in the big studios, you know, you got the tape, and you know that's how we label channel 1, vocal, lead, keyboard, bass, you know, all that good stuff. You know, I didn't know that because we used to work in digital studios, where everything was on digital. Never been in such a big studio. If I knew that, I could have read that there were vocals on that track already.
Wow.
I didn't know that. But I knew I remember it was a bunch of stuff written. So he takes us to another studio because he used to take vinyl to the club. So he used to test whatever he was doing. That dude was, as a musician, he was a genius. I'm not ever going to take that away from him. And that his music has traveled through time and still makes people happy around the world. So he did it with love, no doubt. But in the process, he threw us under the bus just because he wanted to live his dream. So now we're in the room with him, and he gets into an argument with my partner, Rob. And I'm like, that's weird, man. It's supposed to be good times right now. We just heard the track. So they're arguing, and the producer just leaves the room. Boom. And I'm like, what did you do? We're supposed to be good with this dude, and he's trying to explain to me. He's like, he's mad. And Rob would get mad very easily, as a matter of fact. So at some point, I understand what he's saying. He's saying, oh, they don't want us to sing. You know, I'm like, I don't understand. And the term lip syncing didn't exist at the time. But at some point, I realized, like, oh, he wants somebody else to sing on it. But I'm like, but we can sing. But he was like, no, they don't want to do that. So after that, the assistant, because Frank was gone, he would never when he got confrontational, he got really hot, and then disappear. We learned that after that. With time, we learned that that's the kind of guy he was. And so we talked to the secretary, and we said, hey, we don't want to do this. She was like, oh, that's cool, but, you know, we gave you money. Oh, money ain't free. It doesn't work like that. So, and we never been in a situation like this one. People give you money. We thought that's our money. We didn't know that when you sign a contract, we didn't know the contract was for 3 albums. I didn't know what was in the contract. To this day, I don't have that contract. I never had that contract. I never took it with me. I just signed it, and that was it. That's how much I knew at the time. Nothing. So we said, okay, we do this. We do this, and we walk away. But like I said, we didn't know it was for 3 albums. So we do the first single, and things get hot. Like, wow, we become hot. Like, yeah, we never experienced, you know, Rob was adopted. I came from a diverse family. Certainly people love you. But you think that love is real, and it's never going to go away. You really believe, like, wow, man, we're about to become, and that was one of our wishes. We wanted to become the biggest pop stars in the world. Talk about manifestation, we did manifest it. But it was a dream / nightmare. That's what it was, So,
How did you feel on the inside?
man, at first it was like I said. At first it was a dream. It was like, man, you go to perform. You got limousine. You go into the club. Everybody say, hey, Rob and Fab. Oh man, we love you. Table service, ladies. We never had a problem with ladies, but damn, it was on fire then. And then now you do the first single, and now we start to think, wow, we never thought it would be like this. We thought we were going to do one, and it wouldn't work, and we'd be gone. Because we wanted to get out. We wanted to get away. So the more we wanted to get away, the more it was pulling us.
Wow.
It was pulling on us like, damn, what do we do? And then they came to us with a second single. And we're like, well, we want to sing. And they're like, no, you can't. It's not your voice. And then we were like, And they said, hey, you signed a contract. You got more money. It's not going to work like that. And I didn't know about the term recoupable. We didn't know that when you go to a hotel, they pay for it, but eventually, out of your royalties, they're going to take that money. So we thought, okay, we stay in there, and then at some point, we're going to jump to another team. Let's see how it goes. So the more you stay, you're seduced by the whole thing. But then the dream then start to turn to a nightmare, because you realize when you go into your after the after party, you end up by yourself, and you look in the mirror and you look at yourself and say, damn, it ain't right. The fans are loving us, they're giving us love. What we're doing is wrong, but we don't know what to do. We have no time to think. And then in order to deal with the pressure of being in Tokyo, 1 week, and being in Australia, and having to go back to New York, and then going back to Europe, then go to Africa, we started hanging out with the usual suspects in the night. You start to party and drink and do all that stuff. And that's when I saw my partner started to go way too hard. I was going hard, but not as hard as it was going, and I could see that he was losing himself, and there was nobody there to really protect us. So we go on stage, we do what we do, and in my heart, I said, listen, all you can do right now is just give love to the people, go hard, and maybe one day they will forgive what you're doing right now. Maybe one day. And my dream was to become a singer-songwriter. So when the Milli Vanilli train stopped, I had two options: go back to Europe, or hang tough, work on myself, learn how to produce, learn how to write, get better as an artist. And that's what we have to do as an artist, So when people say, well, how come you didn't sing back then? Well, Frank didn't want that. That was not in the cards. He ripped that away from me. And I had to live with that for many years. I had to carry that weight as well of people saying, man, they can't do it. They don't even sing. So to this day, some people think I can't sing, which is crazy, because I've been on the road for like over 30 years.
Right.
In Europe, people don't know this here. But I've been on the road for years in Europe, and now we just signed a deal with a company that's going to bring me in America, and we're going to be going up and down. It's going to be over 30 shows. It's going to be arena shows. It's going to be old type of shows. But now people are going to about to see what's going on. But I've been working in Europe for a long time, And as an artist, you get better. That's what you have to do. That is your job. You don't have no other job but to get better. And as you get better, whatever you want to do as an artist, I'm the type of artist who wants to bring love and positive energy into your mind, your body, and your soul. I want to make you think, make you dance for show, make you laugh, but also, make you think about life. Because life is real. Life ain't easy. And I think that music is is an element through which is a medium through which I can really truly express myself. I'm not a politician. That's not me. But music can definitely elevate someone's spirit.
Facts.
Facts, man. So this is why I'm still here. And when my ship crashed out of the the crash, I came out thinking, well, let me take what I've learned from this journey, because I learned a lot.
What are some of the things that you learned?
Well, let's begin with performing for 30,000, doing 107 city shows in 8 months.
Damn.
I know how to hype a crowd. I learned how to perform. I know how to keep the attention of a crowd. True, I didn't sing, but I learned a lot. I learned how to understand the media, how the media works. Like, okay, this is how it works. I learned about people, characters. You have people who come in your life just for a season. Just for a season. And the ones who kick it with you for life, you keep them close. But the ones who came for a season, they're here to teach you a lesson. So be very careful what they bring into your life. And sometimes it seems like it's the end. It feels like, oh my God, I'm never going to survive this. But no, this crash that you're going through, whatever, out of the wreckage of this crash, take the knowledge, move forward, and you're going to become stronger. That's what's going to happen. So, it'll shape you and turn you into the person that you're supposed to become. That's it. So, what is good, what is bad? It's up to you to decide. But take whatever you can from each and every experiences, and that will turn you into what you're supposed to be. But if you're an artist, if you're creative, you got to work on your skills. So you got to go back and what is the one thing that you have to work on or just activate? I would say activate every day. It's your creativity. Without creativity, ain't nothing. So don't do what they do. Do you, fam, but to the fullest, and that will make you stick out of the crowd. If you start to follow what this dude or this girl is doing, you're going to do what they do. It's like copy pasting. Don't copy paste. And we live in a world where it's very easy to copy paste. Damn, we got Sonos now. We got so much tools to copy others. So I say to you, my people, my good people out there, if you doubt about yourself, if you've been misunderstood because you create a certain way or you behave a certain way because you're being you, don't let them pull you away from being you. Be you, because when you stick it and stay in it, at some point, the right people are going to come because you vibrate a different way. And when you vibrate a different way, they're going to be like, man, you got something, man. I don't know what it is, and because you're a positive human being and you have your bout with negative energy, you'll start to select. That's good. That person is not good for me. It's going to steer me away from what I'm supposed to become. From my dreams, essentially. That's what happens. So through the years, that's what I've been doing. So a lot of those lessons, I've been applying them. I actually came up with a system called Unlock #14. Can you give me my cap on my bag? It's like I made a logo, and it's about unlocking your powers. So I got 14 rules. Go check it out. FabMilli.com. Bam, right there. Shameless plug, but I got to. Come on. So Fab Milli, bam, Fab Milli right here. During COVID, people were asking me man, how do you stay so positive? I said, well, and I explained, and I realized that I have a system, and it's all about systems. So create your system. That's my system. This is my system, and I live by it every day. Creativity, resilience, curiosity is another. Be curious. Don't just listen to one style of music. You know what I mean? Listen to everything, man. What's up? And thanks. And I love, my dad used to play salsa, merengue, Cuban, cumbia, all kinds of music. classical. My mom, on my mom's side, she was like playing all kinds of like opera. Maya Callas was an opera singer. She took me to theaters where they used to sing opera. So then I started trying to emulate opera singers in the bathroom. You got you got the reverb and you do all kinds of things. You're discovering your voice. So I always sang. On my dad and my mom's side, they're composers. They do Caribbean music. So I've always been around music. So when that situation happened to me, man, it made me mad. And for a long time, I was pissed off, and I was angry for many years. And at some point, in order to, especially when Rob died, that's the one thing I wish I could go back in time and change that. That's my one and only regret. So I learned about forgiveness, and I'm telling y'all, you got to forgive the people who hurt you. Because if you don't do that, you're going to go hurt them. And what happens if you go hurt them? It ain't going to be good. You're going to end up somewhere bad. So, I'll say, get on your knees, do whatever you got to do, find the energy, talk to the source, do whatever you got to do, but forgive them and forgive yourself, because that's the hardest part. Sometimes we talk ourselves down because we let that happen. We let that happen to ourselves. So forgive him, forgive yourself, and then you'll see that it'll be like putting new shades on. I'm telling y'all, life looks very different. You'll start to feel differently too. And that's when life starts. That's when life begins, when you can forgive yourself. And I'm telling you, whatever you're going to create, you're going to be able to put it in. Quincy Jones said, get away from music, and when you come back, take whatever you've learned from the music. And that's what I've been doing through the years. So I got family now. I know what love means. I know what pain means too. So when I talk or write about pain, it's from a real place. And emotional intelligence is important to acquire. And it takes time to acquire. But if you do the research, go read, hang out with positive people, stay away from the negative, because the negative is going to take you down. I'm telling you, it's a real thing. Negative can only take you to a dark place. And you're looking for the light. That's what you're looking for. So for me, music being light to me and positive vibrations, like I said, music it's like a destination, like longitude, latitude. That's what it is. And when I listen to, whether it's Latin music, whether it's, even like the good hip hop from the 90s, man, it takes me back to good times where people used to talk about positive thing, Public Enemy, Bella Soul, and so on, MC Light, Queen Latifah, that's the good stuff. So if you want to get into the music business, I'll say go back in time, study the greats, so that at some point, maybe you might become great. So that's what I've been doing. Go back, reverse engineer, try to understand what's up, try to understand, like, Bob Marley, Jimi Hendrix, Dizzy Gillespie, Louis Armstrong, jazz music. Man, he loud as hell.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a scooter, right?
Yeah.
Damn. That's
so
loud.
let me ask you this. How do you define success now after everything that you've been through?
Man, you know what? I'll put two words together, success and personal. Personal success is where it's at. Getting the cars, the house, the fame. Nah, man. Personal success. How do you handle success? Will show. Show me your friends, and I'll tell you who you are when you're successful. So there's different phases of success and fame. When you're hot, you're coming in, boom, you shine. Everybody's your friend. But what happened? What happens when the fame is no longer here? Then that's when you learn about friendship. You learn about love and respect. And this is it. So defining fame is if you can't fall, stand. We're talking about fame. Fame is so dangerous. fame is toxic, so toxic. So I say, remove fame and focus on personal success, personal growth. And when you go into that lane, then you realize that, okay, fame is one thing. It allows me to do something. It allows my voice to be amplified. So use your fame positively, in a positive fashion. But if you only use yourself, your fame to just, fatten your pockets, I understand, man. Everybody got a lifestyle. Everybody got you want to live life, Yes, I feel you. But don't forget to give back, because there's some kids that are looking at you. And I see with my kids, when you're parents, kids are little, right? So you don't always, you might bump into them. Oh, I didn't see you. You were right here. They look at you. They look how you behave. This is why sometimes when you see short, like little kids like that are 5, 6 years old, I see some of those videos sometime where these little kids act like he a gangster on the couch, addressing his mom like in a disrespectful way. And he learned that from somewhere. I don't know. I'm just putting two and what's up? Hey, thank you. And that is by example. They live by example. So we got to be careful as musicians, as public speakers, as famous anything. That's why when I see I won't say no name, but I see how some ladies are behaving in what they do, I'm like, damn, that's messed up, because some of those young girls who are watching it, they think that's real. They think that's how you have to behave. That's sad, So, like I said, I try to be me, and I am the frequency modulator, FM. I'm here to elevate, stimulate, and sprinkle some of that positive dust, when I speak. I try to use my voice, and I found my voice. It took me some time through the years to find my voice, to find myself. And people were trying, because of what happened in my life or whatever I was associated with, they tried to define me. And I'm like, nah, when you understand that, don't let events define or people define who you are. You define that.
Right.
You do that for yourself. Facts. So that's my message to the people out there, man. Be you and go study. Read a book. A book will change your life.
Word up.
I read many books, but there was one, like Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. That was a good one. And I saw Mos Def with that book in one of the first video of Alicia Keys. I was like, oh, okay. So I think that was a message. I think that was that book.
You know something crazy? So that book, Think and Grow Rich, that was an adaptation of The Laws of Success from Napoleon Hill, and I was listening to that joint earlier today.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Man, that's the fire right there.
Yeah, you feel me? Like that.
Man,
but that's crazy that you're talking about that right now.
Yes, sir, man. You have another one that's like the Art of War.
Sun Tzu.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's cryptic because it's translated, but when you read that stuff, man, it's real. And I'm sure, man, I'm sure there's some gangsters in the street that are reading that and learn from that, because it's, when you're in life is like, you're at war. And sometimes, there's inner war takes place within yourself. And it takes a while to get away from whatever you feel inside. But I say, surround yourself from good people. You recognize what negative is. You know what's good. You can tell after a while. So it's up to you to make the right decision. But I can tell you, there's many times where you did the wrong thing and you knew it was the wrong thing, but you still did it. So listen next time and say, okay, I'm going to listen to myself right now. That's what I'm going to do. So, and that's why, because I learned so much, and there was a lot that I didn't speak on. I worked on the book. It's true. The real story of Milli Vanilli just came out. I have a nomination now. Oh man, that's bumping. That's nice. I got a nomination now for a Grammy for Best Audiobook storytelling
Wow.
and narration. And it's not a fad book, but man, I made myself vulnerable. I had to open myself and really speak on the stuff I never spoke of. And it freed me. I feel like I'm free. I'm free like a bird. I feel like an eagle. And many of us, we be chickens for a long time. You know, chickens don't fly. So you got to go up to that eagle status. When you go to that eagle status, that's when you start to see from above, and that's when you can anticipate what's going down. So that's my message to the people.
Yo, you have a great story, man.
Thank you, man. My
For
pleasure.
real. I greatly appreciate you coming
Yes,
through.
man. My pleasure, man. It was good. It was fun. It was fun to just chop it up. I know this show is successful. I wish you nothing but the best. Keep reading that book, though. Or listening to
Absolutely,
that
for
book,
sure.
man. You know, and we meet twice in life.
Word up.
That's true, man. I met many people up and down, but the thing is, the third time is the charm, because it shows where because you're there, you're here, but what you gonna do after you're down there? You build back up, and then you find balance within your soul. I'll finish with that. Peace,
Absolutely.
love. Oh yeah, peace, love, happiness, health, and success. Big 5. Pow.
Absolutely. It's Cadillac Chronicles. We're going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace.